Hi, I'm Dr. David Cosgrave and welcome to the Exam Performance Institute. In this video, we're going to continue our discussion about studying. In particular, we're going to focus on where you should be studying. I recommend strongly that you create a designated study space wherever you live in order for that to be your number one and only study space as you go through your exam preparation process. And what I mean number one and only study space, I mean that this particular space should not be used for any other purpose apart from your study, your exam preparation. There's a couple of rules I like to have when it comes to this particular study area. The first is it should not be your kitchen table or any communal area in your house, whether that's if you're living with your family or in a college dorm. It should not be a communal area that's shared. The reason for that is that a communal area such as your kitchen table, you're going to have to transition from studying to doing other things like eating. And that means that your materials are going to be moved from the kitchen table into your bag and so on. And you're going to have to do that process repeatedly if you want to continue studying in that area. But what's really going to happen here is eventually you're just going to get bored of continuously having to take your materials out of your bag, putting them on the desk and studying. So what's going to happen? They're just going to get left and you're not going to study anymore. Or you're going to get frustrated and miss potential times where you could be putting in some effort towards your exam preparation. It's also highly likely that if you're using a communal area like this, then you're going to be distracted because there's other people using that area. That's the definition of a communal area. There's other people using that space. So it's going to be hard for you to focus and give your undivided attention to your exam preparation. So avoid the kitchen table or communal areas as much as possible. The second rule I have when it comes to your study space is that you do not use your bed. A few students I know use their bed to study and they like studying on their bed, and I strongly recommend that you avoid that at all costs. And the reason for that is your bed is for sleeping. Plain and simple, your bed is for sleeping. We want our brains to associate our bed with rest and recovery and sleep. We do not want our brains to associate our bed with exam preparation or studying. They're two conflicting tasks. We want our bed to be purely for rest, relaxation and recovery. We don't want it to have anything to do with exam preparation. Because we associate our beds with sleep, when you lie in your bed to study or you sit on your bed to study, you start getting more comfortable. We lose that intensity and motivation in order to be really focused and charged on the work that we need to be doing. Instead, we start to relax and sometimes we can start to drift. I bet some of you watching this video right now may have even fallen asleep in your bed studying. I can see some of you smiling as I've just said that. So, no communal areas and not on your bed. We want to keep our bed for rest and recovery. You're going to need rest and recovery as part of the exam preparation process, so we want to keep our associations in our brain with our bed for that reason only. I recommend that you create a private study space. Now, COVID-19 has thrown up some challenges when it comes to the amount of free space that we might have in a dorm or in our homes. People might be working from home, family members taking up space that traditionally may not have been used in the house. However, I recommend in as much as you possibly can, finding an area that you can use specifically for studying that's private, whether that's your bedroom or some other room in the house that you have access to. If there's no free space that you can specifically claim as yours, then I recommend that you come to an agreement with family members that during certain times, a specific area of the house will be designated purely to you. And I recommend that you also invest in a good pair of noise cancelling headphones. Not to listen to the latest Taylor Swift album, but to block out any distractions that might be around you when you're trying to prepare for your exams. It's very, very important that if you have a study desk in your bedroom, for example, that this is not used as somewhere where you dump your clothes and then you have to clean off every time where you come to do a bit of work. This is specifically for studying. It is not for anything else. It is only for studying. So if you have clothes thrown on your study desk, get them out. This should be a clear, organized space. Many students ask me, should I study in the library? And I have a very simple answer for that. No. Only as a last resort. The reason I say that is the library on campus usually is filled with students and it can be a very distracting place. It's filled with students who are usually around exam time at least, seeking validation and help with their exam. We're not interested in the preparation of any other exam students. We're only interested in your exam preparation. If you have to go to the library, again, only as a last resort, then consider the noise cancelling headphones that I mentioned a moment ago. Wear them, block out the distractions. It'll also discourage people from coming up to you to try to talk with you. If you have to go to the library, find the quietest part of the library you can go to that's away from potential distractions and hard for other people to find you. But preferably, wherever you study, again, it should be your dedicated space. This is the space you go to create your study materials and to actually study. So I hope that clears up a couple of issues for you. If you haven't created your own study desk or study environment yet, then please do that immediately. It's so important that you have your own command center for where you want to go in terms of creating your study materials and actually going through the exam preparation process. It's so important that this place is available to you and private and quiet so that you can perform and focus your efforts throughout the exam preparation process. Please put some effort into designating that space and creating that space for you as soon as possible if you haven't already done so. Remember, as part of your study desk, you should also have a few things clearly visible. One of those should be your accountability contract in taking 100% responsibility for your own grades. Number 2 should be the image of your why, what you're trying to achieve throughout this process. Number 3 should be your goals. What are you trying to achieve? Your specific targets that you're trying to achieve. It's about maintaining optimum performance levels, and these things will help as constant visual reminders when you're preparing for your exams. I hope that answers these questions. I'll see you in the next video.